Greetings, Jam Samoa. Fun. Long time. Yeah, man. Long time I not done a video. Because guess what I go on now? Sometimes when you do certain things, you have to be mindful of what you do. And, anyway, this one is just a basic update on what's happening in Samoa. And from my point of view, why I haven't been doing any videos, etc. All right, so let me handle the videos first. All right, I haven't been doing any videos because my my gone back corporate. Now, when you hold certain position in corporate, you have to understand, you know, certain things where you say and do and where you put out to the masses can affect, your position and basically the company as well. So because of that, I just decide here what I'm not gonna do no video. See? So, because sometimes the videos are opinionated and a lot of people sometimes are not aligned with your opinion. And it might seem, counterproductive for some people to basically associate themselves with you accordingly. So, when I basically got back into corporate, I decided here what I put it on pause for the time being. All right. Now, overall, it's a rude awakening. It was a rude awakening in certain state, because I'm used to going at my own pace. I'm used to doing things a certain way when it comes to doing business. And when you're corporate, you have to be doing business according to the strategies, the goals, the basic overall of how a company wants to operate and how the company sees the business in a sense, their achievements are what they want to achieve within a particular a given time frame, etc. So you have to align yourself to all of that. Now, I was my own boss for a very long time, so it took a while for me to kind of get adjusted. I'd say I've gotten, I'm like 95% there, in terms of, working that out. So far, so good. I go on with the thing. See? So, yeah. I kind of hold off on the videos then because of that. Because a lot of the things I want to talk about, I can't talk about and it don't offend anybody. If it was back in the time when, I have no master and something, yeah, they could have said that. There's a saying, a man with a lot to lose must keep his mouth shut. So, may I keep my mouth shut. See? And not in essence on my side, more on the company side, because, with a company, you basically working as a team. So, if you're working as a team, then and you as an individual is taking something away from the team if people are not aligned with the overall thing. You understand? So yeah, I just take with myself from the video thing for that point in you know. Anyway, Wagwan Samoa. All right. Now, the elections, as you know, we had the elections and so on, and things still settling down. The PM, he had a couple emergencies that he had to rush overseas to handle, and so on. Locally, there have been a lot of shake-up and changes. In the media, it is being reported, so you can check Samoa Observer, they and like Talamoa Media and those people, to see what's happening when it comes to that. There's a lot of shake-up in constituencies, and there's a lot of to and fro going on. All right. In terms of the country on a whole, the whole geopolitical aspect of operations, as it comes to the war in Iran and so on, is slowly taking its toll, with our first big increase when it comes to gasoline and so on. So all of those products, you know, you have increase. Food prices have gone up slightly as well. You know, before chicken was it used to be about between 580 and 650 a kilo. Now chicken is at 750 a kilo. You understand? So gas used to be about 280, 281 a liter. Now it's 350 a liter, you know, based on the last thing. Now, once gas goes up, you know, everything goes up. So the shipping pricing has gone up. When you used to get quotes from overseas, you used to get quotes for, you know, you could ask a person for a 90-day quote. Now they're just giving you a 12-day quote. All right, so that is where it's at now. So overall, now in terms of the ADB report, so ADB is the Asian Development Bank. So they sit in Fiji and they basically monitor what happens in the Pacific, along with the ANZ Bank, which is, you know, they call it Australia New Zealand Bank. They operate in Samoa as well. So both outlooks on the financial situation in Samoa is basically aligned. That, you know, we're going to see a 3% overall increase when it comes to, you know, inflation between now. So end of year is June, because in the Caribbean our end of year is March, but over here it can be June or December, depending. But their monitoring is up until June, so they're looking at between 2.83% in June, and for next year anything between 3 and 4% in terms of inflation. So we're looking at some, you know, the market overall is stagnant. Not much not going on. You have a lot of things happening, you know, like one or two infrastructural projects that's going on. But apart from that, that's it. And I think that is a cry all over the world. When it comes to another thing that is rearing its head here is, what I call it, ice. A lot of ice. I tell you, in Jamaica we have weed. And weed is, you know, is predominantly smoked. Over here, ice overtake weed. You understand? So that's a worry now. So what has happened is that the Australian Federal Police have gotten together with the Samoan police, and they're working together along with New Zealand as well to see how they can stem transnational crime, you know, based on that. And that is the crime in the entire Pacific right now. So overall, yeah, outlook not too good, you know, or in terms when it comes to what's happening fiscally. But yeah, we have been there before, and you know we weather that. So you know we continue to find new ways for weather this one. Cool. Now, I just want the people them know say, oh, I'm good. All things bright and beautiful, seeing, and they don't know, seeing. So you go, seeing. So yeah. Yeah, man, we're good. You know, as you say, have a shut your mouth. You know, I say, God, the Bible tell you, he that keepeth his mouth. Yeah. So shut your mouth about certain things and so on, because, yeah, you can't serve more than one master, you know. So you go, seeing. So go and big up on yourself. Long time. Seeing. Me so forward a proper video. Seeing. Go and big up on yourself and, you know, take care of yourself. You know, this tough time, take care of the family and everything. So find some new ways to make money, you know, because every time you have things like this, it's an opportunity. So within the opportunity, we have to just look outside of the box to see how we can maneuver and get better at this thing. See? Yeah, things are changing and we have to adapt. If you don't adapt, you're going to die. So you go. See? So go and big up all Jamaican community. Go and big up on yourself. Yeah, germs like this. I'm out. See it there.